Welcome to Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. We are at a location at Granada House in Saskatoon, and we're in the fireplace room. It's a nice, cozy feeling here, and good segue into the intro from my guest, Carey Rigby-Wilcox.
Hello.
Welcome back to Lit Happens.
Yes.
You're a bit of a staple on our program because you're just so darn inspiring.
Thank you.
I just always enjoy chatting with you.
Thank you.
I want to talk about a few things, but what I really want to chat about is your new children's book, My Dad Couldn't Read, which is sort of a follow-up to your previous national bestseller, My Mummy Couldn't Read. I guess tell us about this new baby.
Well, I'm very happy to have the fact to show males in a literacy role, because females are more able to come out and tell that they have a literacy issue, and it's really hard for men to come out and admit that they have literacy challenges and obstacles and struggles. So this really is my life story woven into it. There's bits and pieces of it inside there, but it also is helping encourage and inspire someone that drops out of school, because it is challenging at school sometimes, and so when you drop out, what happens? And so the story just shows a father and a son, and the father finds out that, you know, he wants to encourage his son and inspire his son and help his son through this, but when you have low literacy, it's really difficult especially when a child comes home with homework. And that's how I felt when my kids came home with homework and I was struggling as a reader. And to sit there as a parent and feel that you can't help your child, that's a very horrible feeling. But the truth is, you don't have to help your child homework-wise by sitting and supporting your child while they go through this journey and being there to do the questions and answers and just talking through it, and having the connection with the school is also important. And just showing that, you know, sitting and being with your child is just as good as knowing the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've said this so many times on the show, but I get so fired up about what you do, because you've kind of become the poster girl for literacy awareness in Saskatchewan. And I think a lot of people are very moved by your books. The My Mummy Couldn't Read book has had some incredible success.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you, how many copies of that book have sold?
Almost 4,000 copies.
4,000 copies,
Yeah.
Which makes you a national best-selling author.
That's what I hear.
Yes, which is incredible.
It was done. It was very good. It was a very hard journey, though.
Yes.
Too. It was because my life was out there. It really was an open book, and it really was hard to tell the scariest stuff. And because I felt so alone, and a lot of men feel so alone, and it's just that you are not alone. That's the whole thing. You're not alone. There's a place to go. There's places in Saskatoon or all over for helping better your education. Even if you are in a job that you want to go to the next level in your job, in a manager position, there's resources to help you to get to that next level.
Incredible. Now, one thing that is really interesting about you, and I think that makes you more unique than a lot of other kids' book authors, is you're also your own illustrator, because you're a very talented visual artist as well. So can you enlighten us on the process of that, to not only write a book but also illustrate it? It's sort of like a marriage to yourself.
Yeah, you know, and the whole thing is, honestly, to be truly honest, the Mummy Couldn't Read book was really easy for me to illustrate. It was as if it just flew out, because I had someone want to write my life story for me.
Yeah.
And the moment that I heard somebody wanted to tell my story was the moment that it sparked me to say, no, I want to be my own author, because they won't understand me as fully as I could. So those illustrations came out really good. This one, because now I know the outcome and I know where it's going to go, and it's going to really be in people's hands, I was very self-aware and very self-critical, and it was a challenge with this one for me. But then once I took all that stuff out and realized the purpose is just to get the message out, that the illustrations just came really easy for me. But I love pencil. That's my favorite thing to work. And I said,
Yeah.
why can't I do what I love? I love pencil. And so I thought,
Exactly.
you know what, I'm going to do this one in pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just like to say that your family is very supportive, and they were actually models.
Models, yeah. My son, which
Yeah.
is 23 years old, he's the one that I went through this, and you know, my daughter's 19. They were the oldest ones, and they are my inspiration of why I chose to go back to learn and help educate myself. And then my younger two children did all the other modeling, and my son, and I had friends that came over, and it was a whole family creation, and everybody was helping every way they could.
Nice. Well, I know my mommy couldn't read, has had resounding success, and I just have a feeling that my dad couldn't read will have that same kind of success around the country.
Can
So
I tell you one
kudos
more
to you.
thing?
Absolutely.
There's $1 from every purchase of the book or the ebook goes to the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center.
Yeah.
I chose this organization because they helped me several years ago when I was a single mother with 2 children. The food bank was there for me to help give me a helping hand, and now I'm here to be able to help give back. And I've been to the Learning Center quite a few times, and I love the learners and what they're doing there, and they're trying to better themselves and go through school. And sometimes when you're sitting in a classroom, you feel like it doesn't end, that you're not going to graduate, you don't know where you're going. But truly, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you will make it. And I want to give back to those students in that classroom. So the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center has been partnering with me to help. And I'm so grateful that money goes to the classroom,
That's
to the
wonderful.
individual adults. So
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of feedback through your website or through Facebook where people have been moved or motivated by what
I
you
have
do?
had my greatest thing. It's great to have authors and teachers, but it's more amazing for me to have adult learners. And I have an adult learner that writes me and phones me, and they phone or email in their small words that they have, their small vocabulary.
Yeah.
Those are what the message is, and that's what actually keeps me doing the next things, because I know that they were there and they have said, oh my gosh, I was there, that's me in that book. And I'm so happy that, you know, they don't feel alone anymore, and that they know that somebody's out there. There's so many of us out there. So I'm just grateful that they have the ability to be sparked up again and keep on going and keep on learning.
Now, I know we're just about out of time, but you once told me a percentage of the population that has low literacy skills.
Yeah.
Tell me that again.
So it's 42% of Canadians have low literacy, and the number has changed. I just found out a new number, and it was 51%, but I'm not accurate on that, but for a very long time, it's 42% of Canadians.
42%.
So the issue is there's lots of people like me out there.
Wow.
And in a positive way, that's a good thing. I'm not alone. 42% of me is out there.
Yeah.
But it's a sad fact that
42%
of people have low literacy, and they struggle every day, and they're alone. And my heart breaks for that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I know that you're making a difference. I know
Thank
that
you.
for a fact. So always a pleasure to have you here. This is the 4th time you've been on Lit Happens, and each time you kind of light up the set with your energy. So kudos to you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. That's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can see previous segments on the Shaw TV website or on my website, westmonk.ca. And you can connect with us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I'll see you next time on Lit Happens.